up, what up? Hello and good day to my fellow Blerds and nerds out in the verse. What?
Hello, Governor.
Governor.
Governor Sherry. I don't know who Sherry is.
I don't know. Well, so it just sounds good.
It-
So you just say it. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a real person.
Shrimp on the barbie. That's not English anymore. It's Australian.
Not. Can I just say about the accents on TV?
Get into it. Get into it.
I'm over it. That is all.
Well, welcome, guys, to episode. It's been a couple weeks, actually. So this is episode
This is
20.
20.
Yeah,
This is episode 20, people. So we're going to have our birthday soon.
we are. And we are going to be. I'm a big kid now.
Yeah. Oh, you hit that note though.
I
You
did.
did.
I did. And
You did.
I,
You
I
did.
shouldn't
Yeah.
be doing this because the reason that we weren't here last week or we didn't record last week is because Lana was under the weather in California and I had semi-tonsillitis in Indiana.
Yes, I was so far under the weather, I couldn't even find myself for like a week.
Right.
That's how I was under the
And you
weather.
guys, I didn't notice, but when we did hopefully you guys did watch we tried to hold you over with the Scandal special recap. I just converted it to audio and put it on iTunes, but
Oh, yay.
during that recording, Lana was sick and she sounded great, and then I was fine. I've been kind of hoarse and my throat's been kind of hurting for the past couple of weeks, but I went to the Indianapolis Colts and Seahawks game where we won, and I was screaming the entire time. And the next day, I was like, I can't. All right, no, that night I called Lana and I was like, I can't. I was like, I can't speak.
Yeah. And I was honestly so exhausted. I had had a rough weekend and I was like, you know what? I'm good. We can take we can have a week off.
Right. Yeah,
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, and it's like we just lucked out in the fact that we did the Scandal recap.
So at least there was new content for the guys and the gals out there.
Yeah, so don't hate us. Be grateful that we're back. We're grateful that you're still listening to us. We love you. So this is episode 20, and we can just hop right in, all right? You cool with that?
Let's hop right in, and I'm gonna let you go on and go first this time with
this time
with your blast from the past. I'm curious. Tell me.
Okay, so I've been thinking about this, and some people have demanded this blast from the past, and I was like, sure, okay, I'll give it to the people because
Do it.
I did want to do a separate. Well, we can still do a separate segment on it, but anyway. So my blast from the past goes out to the amazing show that took place in Chicago, Illinois, about a middle-class African-American family.
Stop it.
And the show ran for 9 seasons. And it had a spinoff of, wait for it, some people didn't know this, it had a spinoff of Perfect Strangers.
Perfect Strangers?
Yeah, and it revolved around this Winslow family. My blast from the past is Family Matters.
Okay.
You done?
Yeah.
Okay. No, don't stop. Don't stop.
No, but I
Do
just,
you?
Okay, go.
Well, the show ran for 9 seasons. It was part of the TGIF. Thank God It's Friday, or Thank Goodness It's Friday. I don't know how they did it on television, but Thank God It's Friday on Fridays. And it was a really great show. Like I said, it was brought around an African American family in Chicago, and I don't think they lived in the suburbs. I think they just lived in a regular neighborhood. And Carl Winslow was the father, and he was a police officer. And then midway through the first season, they introduced Steve Urkel, who was supposed to be, well, he's played by Jaleel White, who was my Blurred of the Week a few weeks ago. He was played by Jaleel White, and he was supposed to be just a cameo, like not a cameo, but a guest star, like every other season or whatever. And his character became so popular that he ended up being put on as a regular character. He was a breakout character and became a main character, and the show ran again for 9 seasons on ABC, and then I guess it transferred from ABC to CBS as well. So yeah, it has Carl Winslow, also Harriet Winslow was the mother. God, I loved her. They didn't give her enough props in that show.
I know. She was good. It's funny. She bugged my mom, but she was good.
Right, and I loved Harriet.
Yeah.
They just, I don't, and I'm just now realizing that they didn't really give her enough play, but that's just my 2 cents, your 2 cents, and your mom's 2 cents, Lana. So that's really all that
Right,
matters.
right. I know.
And of course, the Eddie Winslow who played the son, and my favorite character was Laura Winslow, who was,
Yeah.
and then they had Judy Winslow, but she was only on for a few seasons.
Isn't it funny how she went up those stairs and then never came
Never
back?
came back.
And then they never talked about her and she literally disappeared.
I'm
She
wondering,
disappeared. That's insane to me.
I never heard about what happened to her. Because I know she was. Oh, so she was on the first 4 seasons, and then that was it. But no
And
one,
then she just, there was no explanation.
and I can't even find. I tried to find something before we started recording as to what happened to her character, and I'm sure I could find something like the producers or whatever. They just she wasn't. She probably left or they had a disagreement or something, and they just didn't feel the need to feel her character. There was not enough void, big enough void to fill her
Yeah.
character.
And I've seen little things like, the little behind, like the unsung, like on TV One Love Unsung, and the Life After, I think that series is called. And I saw something about her, but she kind of, I want to say she kind of came upon some hard times for a little bit.
Oh, that
Um,
sucks.
After that, yeah. No details, but it's sad. I mean, that had to have been hard for her.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like, okay, I'm on this great show. Next week, I just don't exist.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that sucks. But one little note that I did find is that with the 9 seasons of Family Matters, it was the second longest running U.S. sitcom for predominantly African American cast. So yay for them, but they followed the Jeffersons, which ran for 11 seasons.
I was just watching The Jeffersons last week and it was still
It's
funny.
always on. Did you watch it on TV Land?
I believe I did. They had a few episodes back to back, and I wasn't feeling. I was just watching it, and it was good.
Yeah, it'll come on. I just lay there. I'm like, okay. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm good. I'm loving the show. That so Jeffersons is the longest running African American, predominantly African American cast show, and then in terms of numbers of episodes, Family Matters is ranked third. With 215 episodes, after the Jeffersons with 253 episodes, and Tyler Perry's House of Pain with 254 episodes.
Well, Tyler Perry's House of Pain hasn't hardly been on, but that man pumps out 4 episodes, like new episodes a week, and new episodes a week and stuff. So,
I could. Okay.
but I don't watch it.
Okay. When it comes to Tyler Perry, I have my own like unique opinion on him. I think he is extremely talented. I was just having this conversation with someone. Actually, I think it was yesterday or Thursday, and about Tyler Perry and just how much money he's raking in from like Universal Studios or whatever studio he's in with. He got paid like $70 million to produce 4 more Medea films or no, not just Medea, but
Not
just
Tyler Perry Studios, but he has a distribution deal.
distribution deal.
I want to say it might be Lionsgate. It's one of the smaller distribution companies,
Yeah,
and he's made them a lot of money.
he has, and it's like I'm like you have so many. What is it? Meet the Browns, House of
Me,
Pain.
House of Pain, for better or for worse,
Mm-hmm.
and that soap opera one, the one on Oprah's network.
Oh, yeah, it's I know what you're talking about, but I just don't follow Tyler
Yeah,
Perry enough
yeah,
to
I just know that
know.
it's on there. I can't remember the name of it, but that one, you know which one I'm
Yeah,
talking
I'm
about.
like, and guys, you know which one we're talking about. No, you don't, but that's fine. We don't either. So Tyler Perry, he has his own. He could be his own Blerds on Nerds podcast, just as much
He can
content as
be
he has.
his own. Maybe we'll get to interview him one day. I'd love to get inside his head and ask him about. Well, I mean, he said enough times where all of his characters came from.
Mm-hmm.
Said enough about his life growing up, and he didn't come from a cushy existence. He had a pretty rough
Right, he did. He was
childhood and
bankrupt, I
stuff.
think.
Yeah, but he suffered abuse. He suffered through a lot of things. So I have a lot of respect for him for not using that as an excuse to not be successful in
Right,
life.
right,
And he's done a lot. He's put a lot of black actors on work. And yes, maybe, I don't necessarily want to see everything that he does because it's not my thing. But the fact that he's making movies and he's putting a lot of us, he's giving a lot of people jobs. He's
right,
loyal to the actors that he uses. I cannot fault that.
right. No, that's good.
because he's hiring when nobody else is.
Right. So
So
shout out to Tyler Perry for being our pre-blurt of the week.
yeah,
Um, so okay, Lana, what about you? What's your blast in the past?
it's funny because mine is also about a Chicago family,
No.
but they live in the
Oh, okay.
projects. I know where you're going, but they live in the projects. And my blast from the past is Good Times.
Yes.
Can I
Hold on,
just
really
say,
quickly.
yeah,
Were
yeah.
most black like sitcoms? Did they take place in Chicago or like out of Chicago?
You know what? I want to say that the Cosby Show weren't they in Brooklyn or
They
something? They
were.
were in,
They were on the East
yeah,
Coast.
yeah, but I think so.
Because
Yeah.
I'm just not thinking about that. I'm like, how many black shows were filmed in like Brooklyn or Chicago?
Well, first of all, you have to look at, the number of black shows I can count on one hand.
You're right.
So,
You're right. And
well,
if you
okay,
take out Tyler
Tyler
Perry shows,
Tyler Perry, that all counts. That's
I
one.
was yeah, okay. So okay, so if you do that, okay, I was if you take
That's
out Tyler
one. And then
Perry,
there's, yeah. But Good Times for me, okay. This show started before I was born,
hmm
and it only lasted for 5 years. But what a 5 years! Like it was, I had so much respect for it because it was funny without being buffoonery,
hmm
which to me is important. They had good storylines. They had serious storylines. And yes, this family lived in the projects and they didn't have a lot of money, but it didn't matter because James Evans
hmm
was home and he was working and he did the best he could. So many times now, all we see is, in the black community, images of the missing father.
right,
As if none of us have a father, as if the father is never in the home.
never. You're right.
I mean, it's almost like the assumption is you were raised by your grandmother, or that's an assumption. And yes, that happens in a lot of African American households, but it's certainly not something that's across the board. It's not an assumption that you can make. And I appreciate it, especially for a show in the 70s, for them to portray, this family together. And I'm just going to talk a couple about the episodes that always stick out a lot in my mind.
hmm
Janet Jackson for a while.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, she was
Yes.
great, right? She played a little girl named Penny, and Penny, I believe, I wanted no, she had a crush on JJ. Okay,
hmm
and it was interesting. It was cute. She loved JJ, and she wanted to be around him, and it's just a cute little storyline. But she was abused, and she was abused by her
Yeah.
mother. And I remember the episode and I remember it so clearly. She was just this precocious girl and her mom got mad. She did something and all you saw was this iron. And you saw this iron coming closer and closer.
Yep.
The screen goes to black and you just hear ah! And then all you see is credits with no music. When a Good Times episode was serious, there was never music
Right.
playing during the credits. It was just
They were
quiet.
one of the first shows that started doing like silence
Yeah,
during
it was just
serious moments to like give it that obviously to
yeah.
reinforce that this is a very serious, effect. This is a very serious moment of the show.
It was. And you knew. And the same thing when James died.
hmm
And remember, they were having a welcome home party. He had been away, he had been working. Florida Evans, played by Esther Roll. Um, oh, and I'm sorry, James Evans, played by John
John
Amos.
Amos, yeah.
Yeah. So, she gets the telegram, James is dead. And all the kids were there and all the kids were around and I just remember the look and the devastation because they were a family unit.
hmm
It was real. Okay. And again the silence and but those two
Right.
episodes I think were the ones that were definitely most powerful and I still remember exactly what happened to this day. But the show ran from 1974 to 1979, and it was just good. It just chronicled them trying to find work, ups and downs. JJ being this prolific artist, Michael Evans, being this little panther, and
Right.
James in Florida keeping the family together, and then Florida Evans by herself,
Right.
trying to keep them together. And then, of course, the older sister, Thelma.
Doma.
But
Doma. Thelma.
Yeah. And it's funny, Bernadette Stannis played Thelma, and she looks exactly the same.
I was just about to say John Amos,
she she's not aged since the show. It's incredible. Oh my gosh. I'm like, she looks exactly the
and
same.
I would say the same for John Amos because he's 73 and he still looks really
Wow.
good. I think the most recent pictures you can find of him are like from 2012, so from last year, and he was 72,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he still looks really good. If you put him up against the picture that they have of him and his wife, well, when he the cast photos from the promos of Good Times, and put them up to him now, it's like you look the same.
Hmm.
Like,
Oh, and this little bit of trivia that I found was cute. The cast members didn't know about John Amos's departure until they read it in the script. They didn't know that he had left the show.
wow.
So,
And that's what they do. See, Good Times. I know there were shows before Good Times, shows during Good Times, of course, obviously shows after. But they had a lot of really good production ideas that are used today. Like when you look at shows like Scandal, for instance,
mhm.
or any really show or any TV show that's really acclaimed, really popular. The writers will give the people the scripts of only their lines, or
Mm,
they'll give them certain scenes, like they only know the scenes the day of. So you
yeah,
don't know 2 weeks in advance or a week in advance, like, oh, my character's gonna die. Like you learn, like
right.
when you get the script, like, oh, I don't have any more lines, and I heard a gunshot,
I
and
know.
so Shonda, is that me? And Shonda's like, let's just do the scene. I'm like, no, Shonda, let's not.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Am I dying? So I think it's cool. I mean, I think it's really sad as well, but I'm sure he knew. Maybe did he know? Did John Amos know?
I think he probably did. I think there were some contracts of. I think he actually left,
Oh, okay.
and that's kind of what happened. And that painting in the background of the credits, I think it looked like an Ernie Barnes painting.
Oh, I love
I'm
Ernie
not gonna
Barnes.
say it is, but I'm sure I could. Hey, if you want to know, Google it.
Yeah,
So,
really good painting, really good artist. So definitely check that
yeah.
out.
But yeah, that was my blast from the past. Good time, good time. In your head up a bottom, in your way.
whenever,
Temporary,
whenever,
like, okay.
whenever you're done, babe, I'm here for you.
Good times. I'm done.
Okay.
I had to.
All
I
right.
had to get
All right.
out because it was there and it was struggling. It was like, get out, get out, get out. Ugh, pushing its way out of my throat. I
This is
couldn't stop.
why we are still sick because
Yeah.
we push ourselves for the
Well,
nerdiness.
don't you know that Black people always have a song in their heart? In their heart.
Yeah, we do. I
That's,
wake up every day with a different song in my head slash heart.
and it's like, that's what we do.
I'm gonna start blogging about that
All of
too,
us.
like
I'm
song of
gonna
the
go on
day.
and generalize, and I'm gonna say all of us.
I would agree with that. That's not really a generalization. It's more like a fact.
Yeah,
Every,
and you know what? I don't care what anybody has to say about that.
I don't know why. I don't know why you're laughing. Keep it serious. This is a serious moment. Everyone has a song in their heart, and it better not be a dark song either. Um,
Better not. I don't want to hear none of that crap. Okay.
so I know we've been gone for a couple weeks, and some things have happened, and sadly I've slept through a lot of them. I'm sure Lana has too, just because
I sure have.
I've been just feeling awful. But it is October 12th. Well, this recording, and my PS4 and so does Lana's comes out next month.
Yes, and I didn't cancel it like I.
I know you said that, and we talked about that last podcast, and I'm so glad you haven't. And I really implore you not to, just because I don't know. There's no real reason. I just want you to have
It's
it. Well, because we
more games.
said we were going to do a podcast together of like
I
unboxing.
know, I know. We're gonna do a vlog and we're gonna unbox them at the same time. You know that means you will have to use restraint and wait for me, don't you?
Maybe. Or
Okay,
maybe
there's
I'll
a
just
time
rebox it and then pretend to be unboxing it for the first time.
you're telling everybody your plan.
Hey, look, it's fine. It's fine. No, no, no. I'm getting it. So that's what day is it again? Is that a Thursday? We talked about this.
Well, I can't take time off of work now.
I know I can't either, but it's like I think it's the weekend or something like that. Like it's the Thursday.
I want
I
to say
think.
it's like a Friday. Isn't it a Friday? Now I'm gonna go. You know what we need to do? Okay, this is insane. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna pick it up at midnight because it's literally around the corner from my
Right.
house, and we could just be bleary eyed.
Hey guys, welcome to Blerds on Earth. It's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right now, and we're gonna open our PS4s right now.
Dude, I'm about that. Well,
I would, I would.
okay. So we put it out there. So okay, listeners hold us accountable. So on Engadget, this is nothing too fancy, but they just released PlayStation 4. PlayStation just released the retail packaging
Uh
for the
huh.
PS4 and the mini accessories. So there's nothing really to go into detail about this. It was something that was exciting for me. I saw it on Engadget and was like, I want to talk about it on the podcast. Uh,
Are you getting any accessories?
well, besides what it comes with, I mean, because the box just has the DualShock 4 controller, charger, PS4i, vertical stand, of course, the PS4 itself. That's it.
Mhm.
I already have what I actually have been reading lately is that I have a Bluetooth headset, so like when I play Call of Duty or any online games, I can crap talk people. Usually, I try to be nice. Usually, they talk to crap to me first, and then I just retaliate. So
Right. You retaliate by killing them.
I was talking about killing them and then like stepping on their. Okay, this is really vulgar, but like stepping on their heads, like in Call of Duty, or I'll like teabag them. Um, then
What does that mean? Look, I'm like, what does that
I'm gonna
mean?
IM what teabagging means.
Okay. I'm like, I don't know.
Or listeners, if you know what it means, that's great. If you don't worry about it. But I will tell Alana offline what that means. Um, you really don't know what it means?
Uh-uh.
Okay, yeah,
I'm like,
we're gonna talk about this afterwards, or maybe you should Google that now. Um,
Okay.
so that's what it comes with. I mean, so what I've been reading lately is that headsets are incompatible with PS4, and PlayStation has came out or Sony has came out and said there will be like some updates or whatever to. I don't know if it's on Sony's like a hardware side or on the. Yeah, I think it's on the hardware side. Like updates that will allow you to, port over your headset or your earpiece or whatever. Because I'm not gonna go out and buy another $110 headset on top of the $400 I spent to get the PS4.
You can do that on a video game?
What?
Oh.
You.
Anyways.
So you know what it means?
Ew.
Oh, I am so sorry, listeners, but she had to know. She had to know the truth. Um, you had to know the truth, and I'm not upset that you know now. Because when you play Call of Duty, you will see this.
Ew, really?
Yeah, you will see this. So that's all I have to say about the PS4. But I'm really excited for the launch. I'm really really excited. I'm still debating if I'm gonna trade in my PS3 or not, just because I just got Grand Theft Auto and there's GTA 5, and I'm playing that. I'm playing Diablo 3. I'm playing Kingdom Hearts. So I'll be done with Kingdom Hearts fairly quickly. Diablo 3, it's something you can just play through 1,000 times. GTA 5 though, that's like to me the biggest investment in a video game I've purchased in a while, and
Uh-huh.
I'm a little salty that I can't play it on the PS4. So
Yeah.
because I didn't get a digital copy. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm
Seems
gonna.
like digital copies might be the way to go with a lot of this. I mean, if you had got a digital copy, could you have played it on PS4?
I think so. I'm not sure, but I know for a fact that like if you go on like Kotaku.com or just Google, if you Google PS3 upgrade to PS4, because I was looking for like trade-in specials, like GameStop or wherever it's like trading your PS3, you get $40 extra.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of getting that return back to me, all of the blogs or the articles were about upgrading PS3 games to PS4. So games that are coming out for the PS4 that are also PS3 compatible or on
Uh-huh.
the PS3 as well. If you buy it on the PS3, you can like I think it's for the digital side. So if you get a digital copy of a PS3 game, it's also a PS4. If you go back in, like when you get your PS4 and you go back in, you go to buy it, you put in like the serial number, and all you pay is $10, and you get the
Oh, okay.
PS4 version. So I mean that's cool, but I'm pretty confident that Grand Theft Auto 5 is not doing that. I'm pretty confident
Oh.
that they are not doing that at all. But so I'm a little hesitant about that, but there really is no other reason for me to have my PS3 other than those games.
Can I tell you that I like the Xbox One packaging better? I think it's prettier.
Um,
It's all black. It's
is
sleek.
it? Let me.
PS4 is blue. I like blue, but the Xbox One packaging looks really
I'm looking
awesome.
it up. I'm looking it up now. Package. Xbox One package. Um. Oh, okay, okay.
Looks kind of hot. Yeah, I'm still waiting for a game, Sony.
Wow. Why don't you just call them up?
I should. And just be like, what the
Why don't you just
heck?
read them right now? How about you just read them on the on air right now?
You know what? Okay. Can I? Okay. So here's what I have to
Oh
say.
wow.
You're going to put out, yeah. If you're going to put out a new game system, I'm going to buy it because I want it. So that's my
All
business.
right, Walter White.
And number 3, if you're going to put out a new game system, okay, how about having a variety of games? First person shooters are wonderful, but that is not the end all be all of gaming.
You're right.
Okay, there's more. I need a couple of really nice, very cool adventure games, and I need them on launch day. I don't need them next year. I need them when I buy the system. Thank you.
Is that it?
Everybody doesn't play soccer and basketball.
Wow. I felt that. I really
And
felt
yeah.
that, like in my inner regions, that you just
I just, I'm going to buy it, but, I'll be playing Assassin's Creed. So,
is Assassin's okay. And you may not know this. I'm gonna try to look it up really quick. But is the new Assassin's Creed Black Flag is that multiplayer?
I don't even know.
Because if it is, I will buy it just so I can play with you.
Okay.
But if it's not, I'm not gonna buy it.
Okay.
Um,
Look, I'm like,
I
okay.
love you're so indifferent. Like whatever. I'm googling multiplayer.
Well, you have to help me with my whole membership,
Oh
whatever.
yeah, we'll that's the first thing we want to do. So we're gonna everyone when we do the launch day PS4 unboxing, the first thing we're gonna do is obviously go over the inner workings, but get online and get her a PlayStation Plus membership, which is the first 30 days are free. I
Oh,
think, or
nice.
something like that. We talked about this a few episodes ago. The first 30 days are free, and remember that when you get it, it comes with what game does it come with? It comes with that racing game for free.
You told me what the name of it was. I'll play that. I like racing
I
games.
do too, but I only like to play them with other people. I know some people get into racing games by themselves. I don't.
Really?
I don't.
I'll
I
play.
don't.
I will do that
Oh,
because I like to drive.
so
Mm.
there is a multiplayer for Assassin's Creed.
Okay, let's just play that.
I'll play that then. I,
We need to get. Who else is getting it?
I sound so
So we're
sad when I
getting.
say it.
I know.
Kimberly,
Kim's getting it. Who else is gonna get it?
PJ, our friend
No,
PJ,
PJ's getting Xbox One.
he's getting two of them.
Well, he's isn't he getting two Xboxes
Yeah, he's
though?
getting two Xboxes.
Yeah, so who else is getting
The
PlayStation?
three of us, so three of us, me, you, Kim.
Is Jordan or Michelle getting one?
Michelle, since she is the
She's not even a gamer like that. Is Jordan getting
it's
one?
Jordan, but no, she said they're waiting until like next year because
Games.
they want the bugs to be worked out. There,
Okay.
if there's a bug, I'll just take my PS4 back and they'll give me another one.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't.
Pre-orders about the rumors are 1.5 million. I wonder if that's true.
Is it of PS4 or Xbox?
PS4.
I'm pre.
I don't know.
I don't
It
know.
could be. I just want to know who's gonna win. I'm interested in the competition because it is a competition.
It really is. I just
It's a
googled.
competition. Xbox comes out a week later, and I don't know. Like I said, well, I told you the reasons why I'm not getting an Xbox 360 because I still play the Xbox One because I'm still playing the 360. So
Well, you
whatever.
know, speaking of Xbox 360, they just came out with Xbox just released their holiday bundles,
Uh huh.
and for $300 you get the Xbox 360 250 gigs with Tomb Raider and Halo 4.
Oh, that's a good
So I'm
one.
thinking about getting that.
You could do that. Why not do
I'm
that?
thinking about it. Yeah, I think I'm
Because
gonna do that because I really do want to play Tomb Raider. I want to play Tomb Raider since it came out. Since we were at Comic Con 2012 and at Nerd HQ, they had the girl that plays Tomb Raider or that plays Lara Croft. She's on Grey's Anatomy as well. They had her there at Nerd HQ interviewing her and stuff, and it was really cool. And I heard the game is pretty good. It's really short. It's pretty dark.
have you played Halo?
I have played Halo 3 I mean, I played all
Okay.
the Halos up to Halo 3. I haven't played Halo 4. I heard Halo 4 was amazing.
Yeah.
But I want to get Destiny, which
Destiny.
is the Bungie game for PS4. But that
Oh.
comes out in April. But the beta access, if you pre-order now, which I think I'm gonna pre-order, just put $5 down, you get the
Uh-huh.
beta access.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if you go to
Oh,
GameStop and
cool.
just put in,
Okay.
I think the minimum is $5, and you get the beta key.
Okay, well that's
So
cool. See,
that's another cool
it's like
thing for the PS4 because you get to
yeah,
play the beta version.
yeah, and that's I'll take that.
Oh,
So,
so
all
back
right.
to what you had said really quick about the pre-orders.
Yeah.
I guess during industry analyst Michael Patcher, which I've heard of him, Patcher or whatever, I can't say his last name. He
Gotcha.
said, yeah, he said the only thing that Sony is going to have problems with this year is the supply disruption. They have 1 million pre-orders that they talked about before, but now it's allegedly up to 1.5 million. So the only thing is that they may have a shortage. So that's why we've been seeing a lot of pre-orders for PS4. Then they lock those pre-orders, or they end them,
Yes.
and then they pick them back up again. Like GameStop is now pushing for more pre-orders because when I was at GameStop getting GTA 5, they were like, "Was there anything that you pre-ordered?" I'm like, "No," and they're like, "Well, the PS4 is available for pre-order again." And I looked at it and I go, "I already pre-ordered and paid for mine." And she was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And I said, "Wait," I said, "Does it not show up in your system?" Like I got pissed
Right. Oh, it was about to
because I
be
gave her like my
yeah.
power up card. I'm like, "Hold on, like that needs to be there. Like that needs to be there."
Mhm.
And she was like, "Oh yeah, it's here, it's here." I'm like, "All right." I was like, "Can I get another receipt like that says that I paid for this?" Because that's the way she
Mhm.
said it. I was like, "I don't really feel confident that I can come in here in a few weeks." And you're like, we have it." So while they are in and out of pre-order lock, Xbox One is taking pre-orders. They'll be taking pre-orders up until the day they come out. You can,
Xbox One.
yeah, you can walk
Well,
in to GameStop and just buy one like a day later. I shouldn't say that, but that's true.
well, it's funny. Remember on that podcast, you told me that you got the email that the pre-orders were back open because I didn't get mine until pre-orders closed until after pre-orders closed the first time. I hadn't done anything yet.
Hmm.
So then I went back like that day. Actually, it was the day that Wolverine came out.
Yep.
And I went and pre-ordered mine, but I guess I'm gonna have to do some games too. Um, but I'm so like whatever about that.
I
Um,
will drive you. I will be the driver in your gaming life, Lana. If you will be the driver in my
okay.
comic book life.
I, yes.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Now,
Okay.
I do want to talk about something a little bit more serious. I just want to do a
Okay.
quick little lane change. So I have found this article, and here's the headline of the article. Microsoft to start showing people's social and career info in Bing results.
What? Oh
So
no.
this is interesting. I didn't know this, but Clout, which Blerds on Nerds was put into Cloud. It's a social analytics company, and as soon as we started podcasting, we were part of Cloud. Like they emailed us and told us that we were part of Cloud, and we get like this ranking score that goes up, and luckily has not went down for a long time, but it continues to go up as we become more influent. It depends on your influence.
Uh huh.
Is it trending? Our hashtag spread the nerd, hashtag spread the nerd, and just how influential we are on social media. So anyway, Microsoft had partnered with them a couple years ago. I don't know exactly what the details were. I don't really care for Microsoft, so I don't really care. But now Microsoft's Know All engine will be displaying clout verified information inside Bing search results. Now, the new partnership makes it possible for people to share personal tidbits using Bing's snapshot feature, things like employment history, prominent social posts from Twitter and Instagram. They haven't said anything about Facebook, but how do you feel about, Lana, if they Google Blerds on Nerds, okay, cool, they see our tweets. But if they Google you and they saw your Twitter or Instagram or any type of social media, like the latest status updates, how would you feel about, in career info, how would you feel about that?
I wouldn't like it.
I don't know what the benefit is of doing this.
There is. I don't want my stuff out there like that. I mean, look. Remember when we first met at the Comic Con 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I had a couple of people trying to friend request me. Could you find me or even do it
Yo, I
on
couldn't.
Facebook?
I had to like send
Okay.
you a message and was like, "Can you friend me?"
Yeah, because and it's set up like that for a
Right.
reason. Okay. My stuff is on lock. Unless I decide to, open it up and do it. You can't, how about this? Stuff that people tag me in that goes to my timeline
Mm-hmm.
does not even appear on my timeline unless I
Unless
approve
you
it.
approve it.
Yeah.
See, and I'm not mad about that. I think that's a great idea. To teach
That's,
their own. It's your personal information, Lana. Like what you want.
that's what it is. It's your personal information. I want control over my information, and that's basically what it boils down to.
And I think the thing that gets me is I understand that from a social media aspect, what you put out on the internet is, what you type in is solid. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that people, obviously a lot of people opt into this from a business perspective or from an advertising perspective. Yeah, I would love for Blerds on Earth to be, when you type that in, you see our latest tweets. That's cool because that's what we're
That's
here for.
fine.
We're social media. Okay, cool. But when it comes to my personal Facebook or my Instagram or my Twitter, or yeah, I don't really want that out because because the thing is, all it takes is, let's say I do say, okay, I'll put that out there. All it takes is one time for you to tweet something negative and that's just the umbrella of negativity. That can be anything,
Yeah.
and that's it. Then you're linked. Now, what if my name is linked? Well, my name is linked to Blerds on Nerds, but if I say something negative and it's tied to Blerds on Nerds, has a negative impact not only on me but on my podcast. That's not.
Yeah.
That just doesn't. So I don't know. I read this article and I tried to reread it. Now, Facebook is not brought up into this at all. Facebook is not in the discussion. But for now, it's just Twitter and Instagram, and I guess there's tons of social media out there now, but the main ones are Twitter and Instagram.
Well, you know how Google is. They'll take all your information and use it however they want.
Yeah, and I just don't like how, like, for instance, they gave me.
They'll put your face in the ad.
Right. Let me. I can talk about that next. So they gave a snapshot of like what it would look like, and the guy, his name is irrelevant. It's just an example, but it's like it shows his profile picture. It shows how many mutual friends you have. So from a Facebook perspective, it shows his profile picture. This is in the Bing search results. How many friends you have in common. But on the far right, it gives you his name, his like bio, like who he is. It gives you his Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Clout Score, all the links. It gives you his current position, his current job position, his current location, and it gives you
See,
like things that like keywords that describe him.
it's too
And then
much.
like
That is
right,
too
and then below
much.
that, it has the top post that he's done from Twitter, and then also it has images of this guy too. So images from like your Facebook could be streamed to Bing
I don't
because
like it.
you could type in like Blurs on Nerds, click images, and you just have all the images of Blurs on Nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know how I feel about that.
If you're a business, if you want to be out there publicly, it's great. If you don't, then it's not great. And I think that's pretty much what it boils down to. Do you want your information out there for business reasons?
Right. It's,
So,
and I mean, I'm
yeah.
reading the comments. Like people are, it's actually the same people that are just kind of responding to each other, and it hasn't really turned into an argument. But there's very polar. Like some people are like, "Oh, this would be really cool for my business," which is great, and I think that's for everyone. That's a very universal statement. But when it comes to like personal, a lot of people are saying that they don't want they don't want their personal business out there. Even if my Facebook was open to the public or semi open, I still wouldn't want someone to just immediately retrieve all my information from Facebook without going to my Facebook. I don't want it to
Exactly.
be
And
that
see, and
easy.
that's the problem. The Facebook, you have your privacy settings there for a reason. They're there for a reason. And it's bad enough that whatever I've used or whatever I've searched for on Google turns up on ads for Facebook for the next month,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that happens now.
Yeah,
So it's really it's
that's the same tie-in
it's
because
annoying.
Google. That's the tie into what you were saying, Lana. What you are saying, Lana, is that that was like the same article, like not same article, it was like a sister article about how Google is now using like your reviews. So let's say you went out to Amazon and reviewed Blue microphones, and you
Yeah.
gave it 5 stars or whatever. It doesn't matter what the stars are, but you review it in general. If someone Googles Blue microphones, Amazon, of course, is the top search should always pop up, and then it'll say, Lana, gave this 5 stars, and it'll give like the 2-line preview of what you review. So it's kind of like they're using you as an advertising pedestal
Hmm.
to kind of push that
And
product.
and somehow, because you can create a username and your username, is what it is, you don't have to use your real name. On Amazon, it doesn't quite bother me as much.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's so much information,
That's true.
I really have an issue with that.
Yeah.
Like, that's okay. I'll find a way to lock that down like I did my Facebook.
Yeah, I think I, as, especially I feel it's funny how quickly tied in we get via the internet and social media, how much privacy we demand. Because if
Hmm.
you go back 15 years, we always want to be connected with people. If they live 2,000 miles away, you're sending them mail, paper mail.
Yeah.
You're sending, you're calling them. Let's say that there wasn't internet, you can IM. So before all that, and we really demanded that. And now that we have it, now we demand privacy again. So it's just
Yeah.
a vicious circle of you want to be tied to people, but you want your privacy. And the thing that's kind of weird is we all want those two, but it's hard to maintain a balance of
You have to,
security and tangibility.
and it is a balance. You have to, as long, you know what, they can develop what they want to develop as long as I have control over whatever information is being put out there. I want control over my information, which I have, but you have to be, I think, very vigilant about making sure your controls or whatever social media network you're using are set to your preferences. You need to make sure that what you want out there is being put out there,
Right.
and take down, if you made a boo-boo, take it down. Check your stuff.
Right.
If you tweet something, look at your own tweets, look at your own Facebook posts.
Because I tell you, I get pissed when I tweet stuff out for Blerds on Nerds and I like misspell something.
Mm,
I get so mad. And I go back and I delete it. But also, I learned that, because when celebrities tweet stuff and they delete it like a millisecond later, like
yeah.
no one got a chance to retweet it. Well, the thing is, there's an application out there. I don't know what the name is. The name of it is, but where it like logs. I don't think it's outside of Twitter. I know Twitter does, but it's outside of Twitter. That like logs all tweets
I know what you're
as soon
talking
as you hit
about, and
send.
I've used it.
Yeah. So, okay. So, because
Yeah,
I've
I
heard
know what
like
you're talking about.
like for instance, Chris Brown. When he tweets some ignorant stuff, and he'll delete it 4 seconds later. But someone always, because I'm like, how do people manage to capture that tweet? It's
Yeah.
because they go to whatever this website is, and it like logs all his tweets, whether he deletes them or not. And
Mhm.
then you can like sell it to a media outlet or whatever, or publish it in your own blog. So really, anything you do, as soon as you hit post, you might as well just acknowledge the fact that it's stored somewhere.
You can do celebrity tweets like that. You can enter in a celebrity's conversation with somebody else, and you can read all their tweets.
Oh,
It's interesting.
interesting. So you I feel offline. You have to tell me about this because there's two particular celebrities that were going at it on Twitter about a week ago, and I really want to read the entire conversation.
Who was it?
I don't care. Whatever. This is our podcast.
Tell me.
Rihanna and Tiana Taylor.
Who is Tiana Taylor? I need to know. What did she do?
Everyone wants to know. That's so funny. I've loved Tiana Taylor for years. Okay.
Is she an
So
actress?
we're gonna have like a new like segment, like celebrity gossip. It's gonna be like 5 minutes every podcast. No, but Tiana Taylor is. I first heard of her several years ago, early 2000s. You remember the show on MTV called Sweet 16? Sweet
Um,
16. It was where like all
yes.
this,
Now I
yeah,
do.
all the
Yes.
celebrity kids. Well, they're not necessarily
Oh
celebrities,
yeah.
but they have rich parents and they give these extremely sweet 16 parties. It always ends with a car, some type of Mercedes truck or something.
Yeah.
Well, like CeeLo Green or CeeLo Brown, whatever you want to call him today, Gnarls Barkley. He his daughter was
Oh,
on
his daughter. I
the
saw that.
show, but Tiana Taylor was on the show, and she was 16 at the time, obviously, or turning 16, and she had just signed on to Pharrell's label, and
Okay.
I don't know if it was her parents that threw her the party or if it was the record label that threw her the party. It doesn't matter. But anyway, it was a really cool episode. I mean, she had like this really big performance at the end, and it was kind of like her big debut for Pharrell, and Pharrell was there, and it was kind of cool. Well, anyway, she hasn't really released like an album. She's like a beta version of Sierra. And I say
Uh,
that because Sierra's not really making waves anymore, but Sierra
mhm.
does a lot of performances where she makes a lot of money. She makes a lot of money
Yeah.
just doing performances. So Tiana Taylor is doing the same thing, and she's really nice. She's known for having like her tomboyish ways. She wears like Timberlands, like laces undone, and always wears like a baseball or like a flat bill New Era cap, and always has her hair out. She has gorgeous hair, gorgeous woman.
Aaliyah.
Kind of like Aaliyah, yeah. She and actually that's a perfect way to put it because she said one of her main influences was Aaliyah, just like style wise. Yeah,
Yeah.
and she can
Aaliyah.
sing. She has a great voice. She can dance. And so now via Instagram, because I follow Rihanna on Instagram, I saw this video, but I didn't put two and two together. It was her makeup artist was dressed in Timberlands and like a flat bill hat, and he had like on a big like poofy like a Diana Ross wig, and he
Yeah.
was pretending to sing this song, and I'm like, okay, that's funny, and it was just really silly. Well, then I got on Twitter, and I just see people like retweeting Rihanna, and I'm like, that's weird. And so I went back, and it was a diss because a few weeks before that, Tiana had done a video on Instagram of her singing the same exact song. So Tiana
Oh,
Taylor
I see.
went ballistic. I mean, like threatening Rihanna and talking about how cool they were. I mean, just a lot of profanity. And of course, Rihanna doesn't respond because she lets her Navy do all the talking. And
Right, right,
right,
right.
Rihanna Navy. And they handled it all. And then she the one tweet she did say, she was like, "I'm not gonna grace you with an at mention," and all this stuff. And it was just so that's why I want to. I want to get on that page or whatever that website is. I want to go back and read that entire timeline. And then the thing that was really bad, I think, because I was in Tiana's corner until she did this. She changed her background on her Twitter to like two guys boxing, and put
Hmm.
her face over one guy boxing that was doing the punching, and the other guy that was getting hit. He replaced that face. She replaced that face with Rihanna's face after the Chris Brown incident. Yeah. So that's when
Oh,
people were like, okay, we were in your corner until you did that. That's just a little inappropriate.
that's
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's why I want to go on that website. So yeah, that's our gossip corner for the day.
That is very
Yeah.
interesting.
So I know when we get off this podcast, I know the first thing you're gonna do.
You know what though? I can't. Can I? If I'm just keeping it 100,
100.
that sounds like something that they would say on Basketball Wives, which I don't watch.
Oof,
But
it's garbage. Show is garbage.
ratchetness. Um, I I I don't follow Rihanna on Twitter because it's just why.
I completely agree. I don't follow her on Twitter. I do follow her on Instagram. But the thing that it's like a love hate relationship because she posts clearly wherever she is. She only Instagrams when I'm asleep because when I wake up and I get on Instagram, she's all over my timeline. I guess if you call it. She just posts picture after picture after picture, but it's not like pictures are like professional pictures. It's her like smoking or drinking or partying, and it's just constant like barrage of pictures over and over. So
Really?
at times I'm like, oh my god, I just really am sick and tired of Rihanna. But I'm whatever. I'm not a Rihanna stan. I'm not a Rihanna hater, but. I do follow her on Instagram. I mean, it's cool. But the thing that's also cool about her is clearly she lives on Instagram because she responds to a lot of people's comments. Not like dissing them, but if someone she follows a lot of her fans, and if someone like
Hmm.
makes a mention, like she's really Rihanna has her own lipstick out now, and someone like posted on Twitter or on Instagram like, oh, just got the MAC Rihanna lipstick, it's amazing, and then she commented and was like, you look gorgeous in it, thanks for the support.
Well, that's nice because, if you're a fan, I bet that makes them really feel good,
Right.
that she took the time out to acknowledge them. So that's cool.
Yeah. So that's whatever. Thanks to you, Lana. I'm probably gonna end up just unfollowing her altogether.
What?
Well, because you really just you were just the light that I needed because I was like looking for a reason to unfollow her, and now it's all I need. So okay, before I want to jump into comics, and I know Lana, you had a really big comic week, but before we do that, I have another video game announcement to make because I used to love this game back in the day, and they just came out with like a redefined world, and that's Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Pokemon X, Pokemon Y just came out for Nintendo 3DS and Nintendo 2DS, and I may be buying that like in the next few days. It
Hmm.
looks amazing. It's like the Pokemon game you've always wanted, and I'm looking at it now. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but for the listeners out there, anyone that loves Pokemon, if you're playing it, if you're playing Pokemon X or Pokemon Y, please tweet us and tell me how much you love it. Hopefully, you don't hate it because that just gives me more reason to throw my money at Nintendo
Oh my
and
god.
just buy, because they have the Nintendo 3DS, which is 170, so 3D, and then
Hmm.
they have the Nintendo 2DS that came out as well. That is just a flat like handheld, and it's 3DS minus the 3D, so it can play all the 3DS games, but it doesn't have the 3D capability, which is great because I don't need the 3D. 3D doesn't do anything for me. Also, the 2DS is $130 compared to 170 for the 3DS. So
Uh-huh.
I'm about that life, and since I've already paid my PS4, I'm like I might as well just
You might as
splurge.
well.
So yeah, anyone out there, if you play Pokemon or if you think about getting into this game, let me know your thoughts on that because next week I may have it. I may have it.
Oh my
So
gosh.
anyway, I'm done. Solana, let's talk to me about
Comics.
your comic
Comics.
life.
Okay. So, as most of you know at this point, I am diehard Superman, except for I dropped most of his titles. And
No, you can't say that.
and Wonder Woman, except for I dropped her main title too. Um
Now, why did you drop her?
well,
Why did you? Yeah,
okay,
explain why
let
you
me go back in
dropped.
time. Let me go back as why. I like the Justice League versions of them better. I may eventually pick Superman back up. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like the continuity between the different comics. I think it's dumb. And I mean, like I said, I may pick Superman back up. I have to go back and look.
Mm-hmm.
But I really, I'm gonna start off with Forever Evil because I actually picked up issue 2. And I'm really loving this Forever Evil. This Ultraman, which is the evil Superman counterpart,
Right.
he's
He's pretty
crazy.
dope.
He is, and I really really like his character. But this, oh my god, so him and Superwoman are, I guess they're together in a weird kind of twisted relationship,
Mm-hmm.
but he's kind of like, don't you dare disagree with Owlman with me standing right here. He's like, yeah, it's probably not the healthiest of relationships.
Right.
And oh my gosh, spoiler alert. Well, whatever. It's a comic. It's not like it's a movie.
Right. Who cares?
Um, yo, she's straight up pregnant with Owlman's baby.
Wait. What?
Right. I was like, what?
So okay.
And my mouth dropped open. I said, shut the front
But wait,
door.
in the original Justice League, like the normal world Justice League, Batman and Wonder Woman aren't like that, right?
No, people tried to make it happen in the cartoon. I think they may have kissed or something. I don't know, but they were never together. To me, he always belongs with Catwoman.
Mm.
But yeah, so she is straight up preggers.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I know. I'm just kind of like, what the what? So I don't know. We have to see. So she really wants this world, and we haven't. There's a lot of stuff going on, and it's all kind of starting to come together. Lex Luthor released this creature he created. He released him a few years early because Lex Luthor is always experimenting with people and trying to create this and create that. But so that was one of the plot points. And I'm not gonna, say what happened in the whole comic because it's really pretty good. And it's actually, you know what? It's long.
Mm-hmm.
It's long because I don't have an ad every other page. It's pretty meaty, and there's a lot going on in this one. And I appreciate the fact that it's longer.
Okay.
And also I got my I have all four covers for the Justice
Oh
League,
yeah.
the Villains Month.
Mm-hmm.
So I have all four Justice League covers in 3D, and I'm so happy to have all four. So I have the four for Superman, and I have the four for Justice League, which is all I really wanted. I have to say though, the 3D on Secret Society, which is Justice League 23.4, came out pretty dope.
Man,
This 3D is like, wow, it's really, really good.
I want to get in. Well, I want to get into them because I have Harley Quinn.
You got the Harley
I got the
Quinn.
Harley
Did you get
Quinn,
you got the 3D
not
one?
the 3D one. But I want to get
Can't
into.
find
I
that.
know you can't deal with me without 3D. I know you're disappointed in me, Lana. I'm trying
But you
my
know what?
best.
It is so not your fault. That thing is going like $40. I don't blame you.
And I don't,
It's fine.
because my thing is, if I'm gonna buy the 3D one, and I would gladly spend $40 for it, I need to have that bookshelf where I can just put them, or like frame them and put them up.
Yeah.
And I don't have the proper equipment to. I don't because I don't want it to sit there. I don't want it to sit there and collect dust.
Mine, I have little piles of comics all over, and they are assorted by title until I get some type of filing system. I don't step on them most of the time,
Most of the
but
time.
they're piled in they're in order and they're all bagged and they're boarded.
Okay, that's fine.
I just need, I just need to develop a filing system. I don't want to get one of those ugly boxes. I want a cute box with colors and it's pretty. And I want to put all my comics in the cute little box and I want it to match everything else in my place. And I just want it to look very good. I want it to look like a comic box without. I just thought of something.
What?
Oh, it's a decorating idea. You know those cute little boxes that they have, and you can buy them at like Cost Plus World
Mm-hmm.
Market, and then they have like the material and it's great. Oh, or you can buy it at Pure One Imports. I want like maybe like an Indian flair.
Okay. Okay.
I can get a wicker, like a wooden one. Yeah, okay. So I'll let you know what I do. But anyways, I got my Superman Wonder Woman #1, and I didn't know what to expect. I was like, please let this be
Yeah.
good. And it was very interesting. And I'm going to tell you why people are going to trip. #1. People are going to trip because, well, first of all, the art is really,
Is it
really
gorgeous?
beautiful. Yeah. And I got the two variant covers, not the regular cover with the white background, but I got the regular cover. And then I got the two variants, which look really kind of retro
Mm-hmm.
and cool. And I'm going to take a picture of them and I'm going to send it to you. Not now, but soon.
I look forward
And
to it because yeah.
yeah, because these covers are pretty, they're tight. And I had to buy them because it was, it's more limited, only one out of every 25. You get one. And I figure I like it enough. And then I'm waiting for my signed #1 with Tony Daniel and Charles Schul.
Did you order? Did
Sewell.
you order that?
Well, yeah, I went on the We Can Be Heroes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, we talked about this
Yeah,
last
and
podcast.
so I'm getting it in December. But I read it and I have to say I like it. I'm intrigued. Doomsday is going to make an appearance in the next
I
issue,
love Doomsday.
which I'm all over that because I love Doomsday also. But yeah, so apparently, as of now, their relationship is a secret. It's just them. And trying to kind of spend time together, and it's really cute. The panels of them together are pretty gorgeous. And what I do like, I like the way it was written. I like the way it showed communication from the Watchtower to Superman. I like the way that Cat Grant is actually Clark's partner in an independent news
Mm-hmm.
venture. So it doesn't have him at the Daily Planet. And that's really, really interesting. And it talks and it shows Wonder Woman in her Diana mode. And, she's training with this black woman named Hesia, and they're kind of talking about her relationship and how she doesn't want to hide it and how she's kind of frustrated and how she doesn't really know what to do. And it's just some cool action shots. Here's where some people are people are so sensitive with the feminist stuff. They say, "Oh, Well, because she says something like, "Here, can you take them? You can fly. You can fly better than I can." People will
Mm,
take something like that and just run with it. How dare she say that? And they just like go off, and I'm like, shut up. It's not a big deal because she's like, you don't know how to use a sword. I'm going to teach you how to fight. What's power if you don't know how to fight?
right.
And people will think that's fine. I'm just like, can we stop being so sensitive? It's like, my goodness, it's a freaking comic book. But,
Well, everything is, especially today. I feel like today you can take any subject, and people are more sensitive today
and I'm
about
like,
a
I
lot of
just want to be
things.
like, I want to be like, get over yourself.
Get over,
Stop.
get over yourself. I'm done.
Get over yourself. Okay. It's, so what if she acknowledges that? Well, guess what? He can fly better than her.
He,
How about
he
that?
kind of is like the
It's,
fastest
it's not,
person.
it's, I mean, it's not like it doesn't all of a sudden diminish her or make her weak.
Right.
Anyways, I'm sorry, but I just know that that's gonna come up. People wig out over the dumbest crap. Um, but otherwise, like I said, I like the art. I like the way it's drawn, and I'm glad because I dropped X Files because I didn't like the
I
art,
know, and
and I would have
I
hated.
did not feel bad because that was not good art. I'm sorry.
Remember I showed it to you? I was like, look.
And then you and Kim were just all up in arms about it. And I was like, what's the big deal? That I look and I was like, oh yeah, this is awful,
Yeah,
awful illustration.
yeah.
But hey.
So, but this looks, it's good. So I'm actually. Oh, and the last panel is nice because this big monster comes out
Mm-hmm.
and he's like bloody and he rips these dudes in half and you can see half of their bodies and then he like smacks her in the face. The last couple of panels are really beautiful because it shows them fighting, but it shows them also kind of thinking about what they'd rather be doing with each other.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
it's but the way it's drawn, it's like these little red panels, red background, and it's all in dark shadow. And so it's these little panels stuck all over this page where they're fighting. Like you have to see what it looks like to know what I'm talking about.
I need to get into this
Just
because
get yourself a digital copy and just look through it. I'm curious to know because I know you're not all into it like me, but I'm curious to know if you like it
well,
or if
I'm all
if
about reading like a first issue of anything.
yeah.
I'll give any issue a try, and if it catches me, then it catches me, and that's great. But I'm trying to hone in whether it doesn't matter who's making the comic, but I'm trying to hone in to like exactly what I want to read consistently.
Yeah, exactly. And the last panel is cool because, it's like, and I think this is Doomsday, but he looks different than other Doomsday that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this picture of his claws around Wonder Woman, and she has this fierce look on her face, and there's like blood all over her.
Oh my god, I want
They
this.
said, and you know what they said it's gonna be? It's not gonna be like fluff. This isn't a fluff comic book. They're gonna be fighting, and it's gonna be pretty bloody, and it's gonna be action, and they're gonna get hurt and stuff. But the back panel, especially, it has all their enemies and all their friends, like on the front and the back. So they're gonna be fighting each other's enemies, their own enemies. It should be pretty interesting.
Okay. Well, thank you for getting me into that. Now you know what I'm reading next, guys.
I think this is Zod. Okay, but
Oh Zod. Oh Zod.
I'm all looking at it. But yeah, so like I said, I'm interested. If you end up reading that, let me know what you think.
Well, I will let you know ASAP because now that I have my life back and my voice back, I think I can be more social now.
Venture out, yeah.
Well, Well, did you want to drop into the blurs of the week, or did you want to talk about anything else?
Let's talk about who is my blur of the week. I had it. Okay, I got it. Yeah,
Are you sure you got it, woman?
I got it because I had forgot because I got caught up talking about comics.
Well, okay. I mean, it could be Wonder Woman if you wanted to. She can be your blur of the week if you want.
She is not a blur.
You could be a blur on the inside.
Mm-mm.
We are firm. We are firm.
No,
Okay.
no.
Well, my blur of the week is a female, and she has just made her. I've always been a fan of her. And she's been very low key as an actress of late. But every movie she does, she does such a wonderful job. She's a very powerful woman, very powerful black woman. And so my blur of the and because she just joined a TV show, and I'm really excited about it because she's everything. So my blur of the week this week is Angela Bassett. So
Oh, I got you.
yeah, so Angela Bassett. If you guys out there watch American Horror Story season 3, which is created by Ryan Murphy, who's from Indianapolis, by the way. He's the creator of Glee. He created the show on FX called American Horror Story, and they're isolated seasons based in like a certain period of time that deal with the paranormal, sometimes just dark things. Well, anyway, this season is based in New Orleans, and it has two timelines. It has a timeline of today, modern day today, and then also of the 1800s, late 1800s, New Orleans. So it deals a lot with voodoo magic and slavery.
Uh-huh.
And Angela Bassett, plays the role of Marie Laveau, and I'm hoping I'm saying her name right. But she is a voodoo practitioner, Louisiana Creole practitioner of voodoo magic. But anyway,
Uh-huh.
so Angela Bassett is my blur of the week because she's an extremely powerful actress from her roles in Waiting to Exhale, playing Tina Turner, and Aquila and the Bee was another movie that a lot of people just didn't. I think Aquila and the Bee was a really good movie, but she kind of
Oh,
fell
it's
back
good.
to the like motherly roles, which is fine.
Uh-huh.
But she's always just had a powerful presence in every movie that she was in. Was she in Eve's Bayou?
No, that was Lynn
Okay, so I'm
Whitfield.
like, who was in Eve's Bayou? But yeah, she's just done a lot of movies. She's been very powerful, and then I'm so excited because she is in this new show, American Horror Story by Ryan Murphy. But the thing that sticks out to me, I'm kind of taking a page out of your book, Lana. One of the scenes that stuck out to me in any role I've ever seen her in, besides the entire movie of What's Love Got to Do with It, was in Waiting to Exhale when she found out that her husband was cheating on her, and she went into his closet and got all his stuff. She used a different choice of words and put it into his car and lit his car on fire. and
It was
and it was
awesome.
awesome because it was a very powerful moment because she like lit a cigarette. She like walked away from the car while it was on fire with all his stuff in it. She like left her life of glamour and money because she realized that she deserved better and that she was better. And it was a very powerful moment for me, not necessarily for me, but because I have two older sisters. And I remember when they would watch that movie, they would just bawl, like they cried during that movie. I think like
Mm-hmm.
most black women did, it was just very inspirational on some levels. Each very unique levels for each individual, but my sisters in particular, that it was very motivating to see powerful black women knowing that they do not need a partner to be successful, or they don't need to settle or be physically or mentally abused to be a better person. So that was a really big, powerful, a really big, powerful. That was a really powerful moment for me in Angela Bassett's career, and I was just so excited when it was confirmed months and months ago that she was coming to TV, along with Kathy Bates and Jessica Lange, who are amazing actresses in their own rights as well on American Horror Story. But I was particularly excited when I saw that Angela Bassett was returning. Even if it was just for this season, she only signed for one season, and like I said, these seasons are very isolated. So a lot of characters reprise or they not reprise their role. They come back as a different character in a different timeline. So there's no tangibility. But I'm just really excited to see her. I'm really proud of her. I think she's a really big inspiration. I can see someone like Raven Simone being like the next Angela Bassett. Just the fact of very humble, very intelligent, great actor, actress, and on a right path without veering off into, at least publicly, into drugs or violence. So that is my vote of the week. I know I sound kind of serious when I'm talking about her, but
No, but I mean, no, yeah,
I mean, I've
it's
always been a
fine.
huge fan of hers, and any movie she's in, I try to see it. I think the last movie, she was in a movie, I think, between Aquila and the Bee and Now,
Hmm.
and I don't think I've seen that particular movie, but the last movie I saw her in was Akilah and the Bee. Oh, she was in Green Lantern, which I refuse to see. And I refuse to see that movie.
It's so funny.
Oh yeah, she was in like Notorious, Something About the Truth. I've seen her in those. She was in Olympus Has Fallen,
Mhm.
and I haven't seen that. I heard it was just action packed, but and then Black Nativity, which is in post
Mhm.
production. So that's my blur of the week. Shout out to Angela Bassett. Keep doing your thing. Continue to spread the nerd in your own blurry way. And I continue to support you on American Horror Story, and I hope you don't die. So Lana, what is your
Da-da-da.
so who is your blur of the week?
Have I talked about Spike Lee before?
No, we have not talked about Spike Lee on this podcast at
Okay.
all. We probably should. Like
Okay.
after this.
So my blurt of the week is Spike Lee.
Okay. Which, by the way, I don't mean to
And
interrupt you, but it's kind of funny because when we were talking about Tyler Perry earlier, I wanted to
mhm,
bring up Spike Lee because Spike Lee doesn't like Tyler Perry. Um,
yeah, that's a few.
but I didn't say anything. Okay,
Um,
cool.
but I like Spike Lee because I think he's a brilliant filmmaker.
Hmm.
I think he's brave. He did so many things in Hollywood that and he paved the way for a lot of people. He always made sure he always wanted to give jobs to black crew, which is, it's always hard to come by.
Right.
And so he just wanted to make sure we were working because a lot of times, especially in Hollywood, it can be a little bit harder. It's much easier now, and I think some ethnicities definitely have it harder than we do now.
Hmm.
But hopefully we provided an opportunity to pull some others up as we were given more opportunities. And I'm just gonna go with a couple of movies that were for me pretty life
Oh
changing and
yeah.
eye opening. The first one being Do the Right
Oh my God.
Thing,
I was hoping you would bring that one up.
because Do the Right Thing. I just remember how I felt when the cop had Radio Raheem in a chokehold.
Hmm.
And it's true to life in a lot of instances, especially in the black community. I mean, this is something, I'm not talking about death by cop, although that has happened before,
Right.
but I'm just talking about, you know, unfairnesses here and there that have happened. I remember hearing stories of my dad doing nothing but, being pulled over driving while black,
Right.
doing nothing. That was just, in the 70s in LA, that was kind of the norm. That was just what happened. And so, bringing it back to the movie, I just, it's the summertime, it's hot, racial tensions are high,
Right.
and, it's just, wow, just even the way it started, even the way their little uprising or their little riot started, it
Hmm.
was it was a trip. And it shows how quickly things can go out of control. You're in a neighborhood, predominantly black, no black business owners. And of course, the community takes their aggression out, on anybody who doesn't look like them. Same thing happened in LA
Right.
during the Rodney King riots. So that one was life changing. Um, of course, his father, Bill Lee, does the scores for most of his movies, or at least did during that time period. And I always thought, the score was just beautiful. Another one for me was Jungle Fever,
Okay. Okay. Stop it. Stop
which,
it.
yeah, I have to, because it explored it explores black male female relationships.
Hmm.
Also, it explored, you know, it's a lot. It explored a lot of different
I mean, in a
things,
very comical way,
and
but it
it's
was
called
still
Jungle Fever.
very
Wesley Snipes plays this man who, has an affair with this white woman.
right.
That's what happened. And kind of what happens during the course of that, how race plays into that. Queen Latifah had this memorable small role at this restaurant, as I believe it was the Boulevard Cafe, which I've actually had eaten at in the past. And he brings this woman in there and they're ordering, and she just has this attitude. She has this attitude, and she's taking the order, and then she's like, "I can't believe you brought her in here. I died. It was hysterical.
That was a really, I mean, that was a really good
It was
movie.
pretty. It was pretty true to life, but the best thing in Jungle Fever didn't have anything to do with race. To me, the most haunting thing
Hmm.
was crackhead Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, Samuel Jackson. What can he not
And
play? Is there a character he cannot
okay,
play?
they were playing Stevie Wonder in the background,
Hmm.
and there was this shot inside of this crack house. Okay, and all you saw, it was this huge crack house, and it was like 100 people, and all it showed was people. It was in slow motion, people walking back and forth, lighting up their crack pipes,
Right.
and it was haunting, and it was brilliant.
Oh my god, I want to watch that movie again.
I know. I have to watch it again.
I want to, because none of Spike Lee, are
It's
any
been a
of
while.
Spike Lee's movies on Netflix?
I don't think
I don't
so.
think
I haven't
so.
seen
I
it.
don't think any of his movies are on
You
Netflix.
know what? Red Hook Summer is on Netflix, which I haven't
I haven't
seen.
seen that either.
Uh, but that is a sequel. I want to say it may be a sequel to Do the Right Thing. Now, I haven't seen all of Spike Lee's movies. I never saw Summer of Sam, which I know was good.
Hmm.
I never saw I didn't see Miracle at St. Anna's, which I know that was good too. So there's a couple of them that I missed, but the earlier ones, Mo Better, make some Mo Better blues.
Crooklyn, She's Gotta Have It.
Oh, Brooklyn was beautiful.
Um,
And oh my
he got
gosh,
game. I remember he got game. School
he
Days,
got game. Clockers.
Clockers, Bamboozled.
Clocker. Yeah. I mean, so he's got, I gotta say, Crooklyn is one of my favorites, just dealing with this little girl and, the relationship with her. It was a long movie. I need a Spike Lee marathon. Oh gosh.
I mean, cause it's funny because I thought
What?
he had. I'm trying to think about his filmography, how many movies he's had out. Because, of
Well,
course,
his very first film was, I can't believe it just left me. It wasn't, I want to say She's Gotta Have It.
you said
I don't think She's Gotta Have It.
you said his first movie.
Yeah.
I think it was. I think it was She's Gotta Have It, and then because Malcolm X came out after Jungle Fever.
Which I think was his best film,
Oh, he definitely
period.
peaked there. I mean, that was just excellent, and that's when I really fell in love with Denzel Washington. Um,
So, can I just say real quick on
yeah.
that? Robbery. It was absolute.
Yes.
And I think we know for a fact that he was never going to even get nominated for playing Malcolm X because of who Malcolm X is and
Mm-hmm.
was. We knew that wasn't going to happen. But my goodness, nobody else deserved it that year other than Denzel Washington. That's all
I
I'm
remember
saying.
watching that movie, and I really, as a child, I didn't really understand because my sisters are much older than I am, and we were
Mhm.
watching Malcolm X, and I was like, it was a really powerful movie, but obviously didn't have the impact on me as a child. And then
Mhm.
I just remember the movie ending, and my sisters bawling, like
Yeah,
bawling,
yes.
and I was
Oh
just like,
gosh.
and my mom, my dad, like we were
Gosh.
all watching together, and I was just like, that was the first time I sat through credits of a movie
Mhm.
ever. And that was the first time I ever sat through credits of a movie, and that was the first time I ever sat through credits of a movie and watched my family like cry around me, and no one said
Yeah.
anything, and I just didn't understand it until like years later, and then I watched it again, and I was like, wow, this movie is really good.
Yeah.
This movie is
And
really
then it's
good.
like, yeah, and just it was pretty
It was a
phenomenal.
really, really okay. Let's step away from that. Um,
I can go on about
I
Spike
mean, we
Lee.
could talk about this for
But
days. So shout out to Spike Lee and Angela Bassett. You can follow them on Twitter at Spike Lee and at I'm Angela Bassett. Shout out to them for being amazing Blerds, amazing role models, and just all around great, people of Blerds in the spotlight that are just always of a positive influence. I'm kind of sad that
oh,
we just now got to them, but
I
not
know.
sad. But it's
Well,
like we have so many. I mean, there's so many.
there's so many.
Uh,
And so we just get to who we can get to. And also next week,
mhm.
and we normally don't tell you what we're going to talk about, but I can say this with pretty much certainty. We will be talking about the season premiere of Walking Dead because by the time you guys hear this podcast, it will have aired the
Yes.
day before. And I think either somebody on the Nerd Truth, shout out,
Mm-hmm.
posted that Nathan Fillion was going to be on Talking Dead with Chris Hardwick. So
Ooh. You're watching it for Nathan Fillion. I'm watching it for Chris Hardwick. So we're gonna be watching it.
but you know what? I love Chris. I
And
do.
I love Nathan.
So I'm watching it for both. I'd watch it regardless, but Nathan Fillion is an added bonus for
The way
me.
he hugged you at Nerd HQ, that's when I was like, okay, I like this guy. I was like, I like this guy.
You
He's treating my girl
know,
right. I like him.
and can I just say Alan Tudyk was so nice and he gave me the biggest smile.
Whatever. I don't know. I don't really mess with Alan Tudyk, but he seems like a cool guy. But I wasn't really feeling Nathan Fillion. I wasn't feeling
I
Nathan
know.
Fillion, and
I know.
and then when y'all took y'all picture together at the Nerd HQ or Nerd Machine, I was like, all right, he treated my girl right. All right, he's cool.
You know,
And then he signed Natasha's
that
lithograph.
gave him all the
Yeah,
points.
so shout out to them too. They were pretty cool guys.
Yeah.
So again, thanks a lot, guys, for listening to us. And we sound better, we feel better. Um,
Yeah.
I tweeted out everything that we talked about, including our blurs of the weeks. And again, please, 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 as I said in the beginning of the podcast or the special podcast last week, if you do not mind, if you like us, if you listen to us, if you like what you hear, please obviously subscribe on iTunes, but also just leave us a little comment like great job, or I want more of this, or I love
Or
it.
hello.
Yeah, or hi, what's up? Hey, yeah, hey from Australia, hey from India. Thank you, India listeners.
Thank you. Real quick, thank you, India. We have like 65 people in
Yeah,
India.
it's kind of like a big deal. I was like, even if it was just one
I
person, I'm
looked, I was
like,
like, that's
we have.
that's a India. That's awesome. So hello, India. Maybe we can come visit you one
We
day.
have 40. We have listeners in over 40 countries.
That is awesome. Hi, everybody who's not in the United States. Thank you for listening. And honestly, we get very excited to know that you guys are listening to us.
Right.
So we take it for granted. We know that you're out there. We see what country, you know what, we need to do a country of the week.
I'm okay with that because I'm looking at the countries now, and yeah, India, China, Philippines, UK,
Ah,
Canada,
I've been to
Japan,
China. Hey, China.
Macedonia. Come on.
Let's have India be our country for the week. So hello, India, and thank you for
Thank you
listening.
so much for listening because you definitely are
We love
like
you.
amazing. Whoever's out there, if you have a Twitter, can you tweet us?
Yeah, if you're from another country, will you tweet us and let us know what country you're from? Because that's
And
awesome, and we will shout you out on the
we
show.
will gladly. You just took the words out of my mouth. We will gladly shout you out because we're just grateful for anyone that even acknowledges our podcast. So
Yeah.
again, please spread the nerd. Continue to spread the nerd, and we will talk to you on the next one. All right. Bye,
Bye.
guys.